Hi, kids. Okay, number 37. Greatest films of all time. Barry Lyndon. We have our first entry on the list, a film directed by Stanley Kubrick. Spoiler alert, won't be the last. So 1975, starring Ryan O'Neal and Marissa Berenson. Ryan O'Neal, father of Tatum O'Neal and others. His father was a writer. His mother was an actress, but he did not want to go into the business initially. His was an amateur boxer, wanted to be a boxer. Um, Ends up being an actor, ends up starring in this film. Marissa Berenson, I believe, was also a model first before she was an actress. Her sister married Anthony Perkins, so she is the aunt to Oz Perkins and Elvis Perkins. Both of them, when cast, were not really told much about the film or their roles. Um, Marissa Berenson was pretty much told stay out of the sun. They wanted that period appropriate paleness. Period appropriate paleness. That's hard to say. For me, anyways. Okay, so this is Kubrick's follow up to A Clockwork Orange. Initially, he had been doing research on the 7 Years' War. He had wanted to make a film about Napoleon. But there was another film around this time, Waterloo, um, came out not a success. So financiers really didn't want to make another film about a film or the same subject as a film that just kind of bombed. So he turned his attentions elsewhere. Barry Lyndon takes place during the 7 Years' War, so he wanted to utilize all that research and everything that he had done, find another project for that. By the way, everything that he had been working on for his Napoleon film is going to come to fruition. Apparently, Spielberg has said that he is going to make it into a 7-part series for HBO. There you have it. We will see Kubrick's version of Kubrick's Napoleon eventually, maybe. Um, so it is based on the novel The Luck of Barry Lyndon from 1844 by William Makepeace Thackeray. Uh, William Makepeace Thackeray was largely a satirist, so the novel is a satire. The film is a satire. Um, we'll get back to that in a bit. So he was a contemporary of Dickens. Next to Dickens, he was sort of regarded during his time as the second greatest living British writer. Lived from 1811 to 1863, so he was, 52 when he died, I think, of heart failure. Later in his life, he just kind of gave in to his vices. What the hell? And yeah, heart failure for that guy. So, Barry Lyndon, Kubrick shot on locations, which is something that he doesn't always do. Kubrick didn't like to leave the house. Okay, who can blame him? But he left the house for this film, went and traveled the Irish countryside. Apparently, quite enjoyed it. There was a 300-day shoot for this. Part of that due to the cinematography. So the cinematography in this film is credited to John Alcott. John Alcott, I believe his father was a studio executive, and he started in the film business as the clapper boy. So take 3. That's where he started. Slowly worked his way up into the camera department, and became the lighting cameraman, and was sort of known as a master of lighting, which is why Kubrick used him for this film. He had also started working with Kubrick on 2001. He was the cameraman on that, worked on The Clockwork Orange, he works on this, and then he would also work one more time with Kubrick on The Shining. So for the film, they wanted it to look like the paintings of William Hogarth. So Hogarth, by the way, was also a satirist, satire. Um, the film maybe has a reputation of looking like a painting. You'll just see shots, and there's those wide angle shots, and it's just, you know, a bunch of rich people blazing around in a room. So they used a ultra fast film stock, 50 millimeter lenses, um, developed for NASA for extreme low light. A lot of the scenes were lit only by candlelight. They used a bunch of other techniques to make it look like it was natural light when it wasn't. They used a lot of natural light, which is not normally something that was done, especially in '75 on film sets. Um, Kubrick didn't want it to look like your traditional period piece. He wanted it to look period appropriate, like you were actually there. Um, yeah. So, and they also used other techniques, like they would overexpose the film stock to bring out more of light, so you could see what's going on in the scene. Nobody wants to sit and watch something that they can't see the action, especially when you're at home and it's just a dark screen, right? Okay. So yeah, so this film is a satire. I think Kubrick always kind of has a dark or a sense of humor in his film. It gets ignored a lot. He's a funny guy. I mean, Doctor Strangelove, satire. Kubrick loved that stuff. Okay, so why is this list or this film number 37 on the list? BFI, their 2012 list. It is number 59, greatest film according to critics. Number 19 according to directors. And then in 2022, last year's list, it was number 45 according to critics and number 12 according to directors. So there you go. Our first Kubrick. There'll be more. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe.